all the things that are in my world that are weighing me down, the things that are like causing anxiety or causing me stress or causing me heartache, or it's all things must pass.
All things must
And
pass.
even the greatest things, you know, um, you hear it, and at first you can feel really lonely. Like this, like a heavy realization that everyone you love, everything you've built, all the people you're clinging on to, it's all slipping through your fingers eventually. And there's this temptation to either ignore it
Mm-hmm.
or get sad about it.
Yeah, you
Right?
can
That's
ignore
where it
you.
leaves me. That's where it leaves me.
I
Right?
got you. Like I think all of this, it's the ignoring of this is marketed, right, through all the distractions that are out there. It's
Mm,
like it's taking advantage of our fear to face it, I think, right?
sure.
It's
Well, both are.
monetizing.
I like what you said. Both are actually marketed.
Okay.
Betrayal, heartache, loss. That's marketed. How many songs on that? And then reunion, love, success. That's marketed. That's sold to us. But what if that feeling of loneliness that
Yeah.
you get from like the passing of time, what if that's actually a door opening, right? What
Right.
if that feeling, when you finally see that no one here can, right? There's no one out there that can fill that place in your heart,
Right.
right? What if that's what wakes us up, right? Like
Yeah.
maybe you're supposed to feel it. Maybe that is
Right.
what we're supposed to welcome into our life. Maybe we're supposed to feel like, okay, there is no adventure. There is no being. There is no pet. There is no perfect home. There is no, I'm going to move and build a home in Tuscany. Whatever dream we have in our head of the material realm, that if I get it, it still won't be what my heart needs. Or if I do get it, I'll lose it. Maybe that's what we're supposed to feel, so we
Mm.
can finally turn within and realize God's been sitting there waiting us to come down out of our desires that have been just running amok. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Come on! Live from Super Soul Farm, this is Wisdom of the Sages, a daily spiritual podcast with your host, Raghunath, and co-host and senior educator at the Bhakti Center in New York, Kaustubha. This is Wednesday, July 23rd, 2025, episode 1646. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show, everybody. It is Wednesday. There's no walk on Wednesday today. We're just going to roll with a nugget. And I tell you, Kaustubha, you sent me this nugget yesterday. You know what happened?
What happened?
I cried.
Oh, we're gonna. It touched you in a special way.
Sometimes I cry, Kaustubha,
What's
because
that?
I live in my heart chakra.
Okay.
It's just like, first of all, I never read the lyrics to this song. It's a song. Our nugget today is a song by George Harrison.
No,
But
we're
before
gonna.
we go
Okay,
there,
that's what I was gonna say. Yeah, there may be some announcements to make.
we're going to bring in Miss Mara for some announcements.
Yeah.
Hello, Mara. How are you?
I'm good. Good morning.
She's tan. She's lovely. She's Krishna conscious.
Thanks, Prabhu.
We are having a Gauranga festival here at Super Soul Farm. And we're just reading about the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya on a regular basis.
Yep.
Oh, wonderful.
Singing songs to Lord Chaitanya on a regular basis.
How regular?
Every day.
Twice a day.
Yeah,
Twice
twice
a
a day.
day.
Yeah.
Nice, nice.
Get a theme. Get a theme going in your house and make that the theme of the week.
That's a great idea, Raghunath.
Yeah.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, we're going through where is it?
Chaitanya Charitamrita.
Yep. Where's it going?
I want to grab the book to show you what we've been reading.
No, it's a Chaitanya Charitamrita summary.
A summary. Oh, is that
Purna
Guranga
Pragya.
Darshan?
Das.
By who? Purna
Purna
Pragya?
Pragya.
Okay, great. Guranga Darshan is putting out books like that now too. Some like kind of summaries of Chaitanya's leelas and all that.
Yeah. It's
Highly
good.
appreciated
It makes
out
it very like readable and understandable.
Yeah. I do have the comic book, the Lord Chaitanya. What are they called? again?
Lord Chaitanya one?
Yeah. You know,
You're
my wife,
kidding.
because she grew up in Sri Lanka, she was given those comic books. The why can't Amrita Katha? What is it again?
Amar Chitra Kata.
Yeah, Amar Chitrikata. She used to get. She has a stack. I have a whole collection of them that she got as a kid.
That is so cool, isn't it? He's got vintage. You like people collect
Vintage.
vintage like DC comics or Marvel comics. Kaustubha's got vintage Amar Chitra Kata comics, and
Including.
without knowing, he has the Lord Chaitanya one. That is
I
the
do know.
that I want that. If
I
you ever want to
figured
give
you
me a
would.
birthday present, I want that.
Well,
I
it
will
belongs to
frame
my
it and
wife,
put it up
but
in
I can
Super
talk
Soul
to her
Farm.
about it. I can-
I'll frame that thing.
yeah.
That's like a comic book collector's item.
I think it would be. I mean,
You know, collectors, it's all about who's collecting. You know what I mean? So if once Bhakti starts to blow up like this, all these little things are going to be collector's items.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Everybody's gonna want it.
And we're on the ground floor, Kaustubha.
That's right. How long will I live, and how will the value of that accrue within that time?
Are you kidding? Are you kidding? The stock's only going higher at this point.
But by the time it gets to something reasonable, I may be dead.
No, for sure. But this is something you leave to
Okay.
your kids, and
I
hopefully
don't have
they-
any kids.
I know. Just give it to me.
Okay.
I'll pass it down to my bloodline.
All right.
But you know what's interesting? Everything, because nowadays you can still find remnants of Prabhupada stuff. In our
I have-
lifetime, you can still find like Prabhupada's harmonium or Prabhupada's.
I have Prabhupada's. Hang
What
on.
do you got?
Hang on.
What do you got? Get out of here.
He's going to get
He's
it.
going to
Like
get
show
now.
and
He's
tell
going
in
to,
the show
it's like show and tell today. It's
You ready? Get up close.
Are you sure?
Positive.
You need something, you know, like on what's that? The Antique Roadshow. You need some type of verification. You need
This is
some guy from
verified.
Sotheby's to come in. You
No.
need some type of.
Well, no, this stuff is verified, Raghunath, because this was collected by like a very serious collector of Prabhupada paraphernalia. This
Oh,
is
yeah?
a piece of Prabhupada's dhoti, and it's a little bit of Prabhupada's hair. I'll get up. real close.
What?
Yeah, that's Prabhupada's hair right there.
All right. Okay. Give that to me too, because you have no offspring. I'll put it in my safe.
All right, give it to me too.
Give it to me too. All righty. GNA. What's it? DNA? DG. Okay. There's got to be some way to verify all this ancient Prabhupada stuff, but there's still stuff around.
Oh, we could clone Prabhupada. Craig DeGaze was saying.
What's that?
With this hair, we could clone Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna. Okay. Anyway, you'll never. Anyway, this is incredible stuff. But yeah, I'm okay. Let's get on with our announcements, Mara.
Announcements.
All right, we have if you're in the Philly area, there's Bhakti Recovery Group meeting every Wednesday night, 7 p.m. at the Bhakti Garden. It's also, you can join it online. And if you want to join any other Bhakti Recovery Group meetings, go to bhaktirecoverygroup.com and check out their online meeting list.
All right.
Alrighty. Kaustubhaji. Very
So we
cool.
get into the nugget.
Nugget. I knew you would like this one when I came up with it, Raghunath. I knew. But I didn't know you were
Yeah,
going to
but
cry.
Well, you know what? The changing of seasons, the passing of years, of decades, of chapters of our life,
It all makes you cry now.
all makes me cry. I reflect on the children, how they're growing, how I don't possess them, I don't own them.
There's that song. What is
Everything
it?
I
That
thought was
Fleetwood Mac
solid.
song. You know.
What's that?
You know, there's that Fleetwood Mac song that's just about like the children are growing up.
Dust in the wind. That one.
That's Kansas.
Okay. That's the same though, right?
Someone help me with the name of the song that I think it's called the Landslide or something
All
like that.
we are is dust in the wind.
Mhm.
We should have done that song.
We got to pull up those lyrics. See if that makes you cry. Someone pull
Okay,
up the
Mara will pull
Alright.
that up.
the
All
Landslide.
right, this is
No.
this is the nugget from George Harrison. All things must
All
pass.
Things Must Pass. Do you know much about this record? All Things Must
No,
Pass.
this was his first solo record.
Yeah, it was like, from what I understand, from what I know, you know, he was a very good songwriter, but he was like kind of right behind Lennon and McCartney, who are like the greatest songwriters that ever existed, practically. You know.
Wait,
So-
wait. He was 3 out of the best songwriters of the Beatles.
What I'm saying is that you had Lennon and McCartney and the Beatles, who are like recognized as practically the greatest songwriters, you know, like they're very difficult to compete with. Now, he was a very good songwriter, but stuck behind them. He was younger than them too, you know, he was kind of always like the kid in the band. And so it was difficult for him. He had all this creative juices
don't-
flowing.
I know
What?
nothing about the Beatles.
Okay.
All right, fill me in. Fill my cup,
Yeah,
Professor.
He was couple years, 2-3 years younger.
Okay.
And so, you know, they started the Beatles when they were very young. I think he was 15 when he joined the Beatles. And and he was always, you know, a little bit seen like the kid. So even when they were becoming these huge stars and they were becoming empowered as songwriters, he was still kind of relegated to that kind of kid status.
Right.
You might get one or two of his songs including on a record, but he was writing far more than that. So he had a whole collections of songs that he had written that were never going to get through the Lennon-McCartney approval,
Right.
stamp of
Vetting
approval.
process. Sorry, that one doesn't make it. That doesn't make
Yeah.
it. That
Sorry,
doesn't make
kid.
it.
You know,
Sorry, kid.
you
Keep
already
trying.
got one on the record, and
And
that's
so
enough.
what happened? He collected them all and made his own album?
So when the Beatles broke up, he was more
Why did the
prepared.
Beatles break up?
Oh, well, Raghunath. I mean, there's so much that can be said about that. I mean, some people pin it on Yoko, some people, you know. But the fact is, there were these really creative minds going through a lot of pressure, and you know, and they had competing. You know, John was kind of going off in his direction. He was getting a lot into drugs. He was fighting his own demons. He was getting really pulled in another direction by Yoko. Paul was trying to hold the thing together, and he was kind of seen as like a little too bossy by the other Beatles. Like, you know, he was always trying to keep the thing together. And, you know, George had all this creative energy, but it wasn't all being accepted. So there are all these. Ringo was like, "Hey, what's the problem? Let's keep it together."
Whoa!
But so there was there was a lot of tension, and you know, it could lead to some fighting and all of that.
Sure.
There was also a whole question about their manager. They had signed with a manager that I think Paul McCartney was really against signing with this guy, Alan Klein, I think was his name. So anyway,
Okay. Anyway.
all that being said, George had all these songs, whereas the others were kind of publishing all of their songwriting. George had a whole collection that had never been published. So as soon as the Beatles broke up, which he was quite comfortable with because it was finally going to give him his chance to use his full creativity, he had a ton of songs. And he brought together like a super group. You had Eric Clapton and Billy Preston, and I think Phil Spector was the producer. It was like a huge producer.
Okay. Now you're squirreling off. Just let's keep this concise.
Well,
So
you
what?
asked me. So
I don't want to hear the whole.
Here's the point
George
that I was going to
Harrison
make
bio.
before you asked me to expand. That he had a ton of songs, and you know, a lot of them were like his Krishna conscious songs. You know, his spiritual ideas. And he immediately he was the first to put out a record of a solo record of the Beatles. And
I wonder if the other guys were like, "This is gonna fail." This is George. Who's George?
no, it did very well. It did very well.
I know it did very well.
Okay.
I know that. I mean,
So anyway,
you know, it'd be interesting. I mean, Paul's still alive, right?
Paul and Ringo both.
And Ringo. Wouldn't it be interesting if George was still alive? Like, what would he think of life, of us? You think he'd listen to Wisdom of Sages? You know, you think.
I know that George's legacy. I know that you tie it in with your own life in many ways. Even though
I'm trying to tie George into my life somehow.
But so he put out this record. It was a triple record, which was like the first of its kind.
Oh no, Live at Budokan's a triple record, isn't it? Like Bob Dylan.
Well, that if it is, it came after it.
Anyway, isn't it cool? A triple record. Those were the good old days of records.
Sandinista.
That's right. Sandinista was a triple record. You know what? As a listener of music, triple records were too much for me. It's like double records were too much.
It's a lot.
It's like, you know what? That's a lot.
You got to have a whole lot of creativity.
Give me 4 songs here, please, people.
Yeah, right. Give me an EP single.
Tell me which ones are the good ones. And
Raghunath, you're squirreling off. Any case, he put out this record, All Things Must Pass, and it was a hit. But he really got a chance to share a lot of his deep spiritual musings. And here we go. All Things Must Pass.
Thanks, Mara. Hit it.
Sunrise doesn't last all morning.
That's when I started crying right there. It was like that quick. I was like,
Okay.
Sunrise doesn't last all morning. A cloudburst doesn't last all day.
Okay.
Seems my love is up and has left you with no warning.
Oh, yeah, that's the crying
see,
line right
my
there.
love is up and has left you like no more love today.
No
It's
warning.
over.
It's
Nope.
not always going to be this gray.
But it's not. That's a little.
It's gonna
he's
turn
trying
around.
he's trying to say things get dark, but they pass. The dark thing, the things that bring you happiness and joy, they pass, but the darkness passes too, right? It's kind of bouncing it out.
Now the darkness only stays the nighttime. In the morning, it will fade away. Daylight is good at arriving at the right time. It's not always going to be this gray. All things must pass. None of life's strings can last.
Ouch.
So I must be on my way and face another day. All things must pass. All things must pass away.
Ooh. Scuba.
Okay. Right.
This is the stuff my life is made of right here.
Okay.
Like just meditating on stuff like this.
Yeah.
And it brings us to this understand. And, this brings me to the philosophers, the writers I love, or the philosophers I love, or the spirituality. What I love about spirituality in general is it gets right back to this point. All the things that are in my world that are weighing me down, the things that are like causing anxiety or causing me stress or causing me heartache, it's all things must pass.
All things must
and
pass.
even the greatest things, um, you hear it, and at first you can feel really lonely. Like this, like a heavy realization that everyone you love, everything you've built, all the people you're clinging on to, it's all slipping through your fingers eventually. And there's this temptation to either ignore it or get sad about it.
Yeah.
Right? That's where it leaves me. That's where it leaves me.
I got you. Like, I think all of this, it's the ignoring of this is marketed, right, through all the distractions that are out there. It's like it's taking advantage of our fear to face it, I think. Right?
Sure.
It's
Well, both are.
monetizing.
I like what you said. Both are actually marketed. Betrayal, heartache, loss. That's marketed. How many songs on that? And then reunion, love, success. That's marketed. That's sold to us. But what if that feeling of loneliness that you get from like the passing of time? What if that's actually a door opening? Right? What if that feeling, when you finally see that no one here can, right? There's no one out there that can fill that place in your heart.
Right.
Right. What if that's what wakes us up? Right.
Yeah.
Like maybe you're supposed to feel it. Maybe that is what we're supposed to welcome into our life. Maybe we're supposed to feel like, okay, there is no adventure. There is no being. There is no pet. There is no perfect home. There is no, I'm going to move and build a home in Tuscany. Whatever dream we have in our head of the material realm, that if I get it, it still won't be what my heart needs. Or if I do get it, I'll lose it. Maybe that's what we're supposed to feel. So we can finally turn within and realize God's been sitting there waiting us to come down out of our desires that have been just running amok.
Right.
Like a headless body trying to desperately fulfill their I say headless because that's Rahu. Oh. Rahu is a headless, right?
I thought you said Raghu. Okay.
No, not Raghu.
I thought you were like, because that's me. I thought you said
that's me. Well, Raghu also a headless body, desperate. That's what Rahu does in astrology. Rahu tries to fulfill his desires, right? But
he's
he can
more
never
like a bodiless
himself.
head.
It's a bodiless. Yeah, it's a bodiless head. That's what's going on. You're eating and you're not getting. You're not feeding. Nothing's getting nourished. So we're running around desperately and weeping from one thing to another, recklessly, right? So yeah, it can be rough, but that loneliness, if you feel it and if you let you feel it, that can actually lead you to God or destruction.
Okay.
Or destruction.
Yeah.
Hopefully, and this is where payback comes to. If anybody listening to this podcast feels like, thank God I found this podcast, or thank God I found Spirit, God, truth, Jesus, Krishna, sweet baby Krishna. Thank God for that.
Yeah.
We will naturally go to thank God for the person that gave me the Bible, or gave me the or gave me the Bhagavad Gita, or gave me the holy name, or gave me some prasad.
Gratitude.
We'll always go back to a devotee that we have to thank. Thank you for this. How do you pay back a thank you? You can never pay it back. You pay it forward, you give it away to people, and you realize deeply, and this is what we were talking about all week, really, the highest welfare you can give somebody is to give them their spiritual life, is to give them a taste for their spiritual life. Sure, you can feed them. Sure, you can clothe them. Sure, you can give them comfort, right? Mm-hmm. But still, there's people with food, with comfort, with clothing that are suffering tremendously. And you give them spiritual, because that is what everybody needs. That reconnection, we all need it. because we're going to be destitute, maybe cold, maybe hungry sometime in our life. We're going to also have opulence in our life. But what we really need, what has to be there through all those change of seasons in our life, is that connection to divinity. Welcome the loneliness, people.
Invite that loneliness into your life.
Welcome the sadness. Welcome the betrayal. And lean into it as, okay, this is Krishna showing me there is just you, Krishna. There is just you, me and you, Krishna. Everything else is just like spinning around, around my head. You can't catch it. You can't catch it.
You know what I think is validates exactly what you're saying, Raghunath?
What?
Because if I'm understanding your point, you're saying like what George Harrison's song is saying is, he says none of life's strings can last, and that love gets up and walks away without a warning. It's like the pain and the loneliness that one can feel in that. He's saying, don't worry so much about it. That comes and goes too. Everything's coming and going. Sit back and observe it, right? And there's something that you can grow through that. And so you're saying, I like what you're saying, is that when we feel that, because we don't have this deep spiritual background, when that feeling of melancholy visits us, which it visits every living being, we want to run away from it, we want to hide from it, we want to ignore from it, we want to cover it up, in some way or another. Whereas you're saying, why not invite it into your life and understand that this is part of life? It's like it's a real key part of life, right?
I'm not saying invite it in, but welcome it if it's there, instead of like despising it.
Welcome is an invitation, right?
No, meaning if it's there, it's there anyway.
Okay.
I'm saying just like lean into it and say, don't go out looking for trouble.
But what I was going to say, actually, okay, I understand what you're saying. In other words, accept it. But what I was going to say that validates what you're saying is that yogis historically did exactly that. Actually, they welcomed it in the sense, or they invited it in the sense that they would voluntarily walk away from home, walk away from family, walk away from society to feel that loneliness. But because for them, maybe in the beginning it's lonely, but what it leads you to is making a connection, the one lasting connection, the one connection that doesn't pass with time. And that is the connection with God in your own heart. That's one that's not going to go anywhere, but we're ignoring it all the time. Sometimes it requires that feeling of loneliness, that feeling of loss, to actually make that connection. And that connection is what yogis were looking to do, right? Turn within, understand, understand who you are, and understand that there's another bird sitting on the branch that you're sitting on, a really wonderful friend, and a friend that doesn't pass with time, that you can reconnect with.
Yeah, it's not only a loneliness, but almost like you almost got to get boring almost. You got to get real boring. Like I remember like
Okay.
like I don't know, when you and I first went to the ashram, it's just like none of your friends are there. You're with a bunch of people you don't even know. Back then it was just like you don't even know anybody.
Yeah.
And you're trying to like make heads or tails of everything, and all your regular go-to comforts are gone, and you're just left to sit with your mind.
Mm-hmm.
And it's actually a very beautiful thing, because you're forced to it pushes you and prods you to go deeper and deeper and deeper to find connection, just to keep your sanity.
Right.
And plus, when I first went to India, it was like that too. And you're completely in foreign turf, really out of your comfort zone. You remember India back then? There was like no comfort whatsoever. Everything was sort of miserable. It was too hot, or it was too cold, or it was too austere. My feet are freezing on the marble floor. My doty's falling off. And then you start questioning, like, why am I here? Is this the?
I need a washing machine.
I need a washing machine, a telephone, anything. I need a refrigerator that I can snack. It's like everything. Everything was discomfort.
Yeah.
And sort of in that position where there's discomfort, guess what? Discomfort's coming anyway.
That's right.
Discomfort's coming anyway.
Yeah, that's a factor. A lot of what the yogis are doing is voluntarily accepting what they know nature is going to bring to them,
Right.
right? Like, I'm going to get out in front of this so that when it
Right.
really hits, I'm already prepared, right? I've already cultivated detachment when nature is going to force me to feel detachment. I've already
Right.
come to terms with it. Yeah, that's a lot of what the reflection, and the austerity that's there in the yoga world is it helps one do. Then you're smooth. This even-mindedness, whether things are pleasant or unpleasant, I keep an even mind. If we're
Right.
not cultivating that, we're not practicing. Krishna defines yoga as samatvam yoga uchate, right? Such even-mindedness is called yoga. So if we think we're practicing yoga, we have to be practicing this. We have to be practicing this even-mindedness through our study, through our sanghas, through our
Mm.
reflection, perhaps through our austerities or certain practices that we take up. We're practicing even-mindedness so that when the world hits us in this hard way, we're right. Just like this in the song, it's like a voice of wisdom speaking to us, helping ease us through these circumstances in life, right? And we need to have that voice alive in our mind, in our heart, when we pass through these times. And we'll pass through them gracefully. That's called wisdom. And
Yeah.
with that, you're able to focus your mind exactly where you want it, right? Right on the lotus feet of Sri Krishna and transcend.
I think I had to learn more lessons than you in this lifetime.
Do you?
I think so. I think I did. I think the whole idea of having children. It's so tricky
Mm.
because you get so attached to them, and then you can't. Then you get to a point where you can't control them, and then
Right.
they're off on their own. Then you really and it's almost like a baited trap.
Yeah.
Like, right? It's like you get attached to them and then they leave you and they go on
Raghunath,
and you have no connection with them. And
you
then
should,
I want to be bitter about it, but didn't I do the same thing to my parents?
right. You
Right?
should write a book, Raghunath, okay?
I
Here's a
have.
thought.
You haven't read it.
I know, I'm not going to read this one either, but
You should write this one to read it. You haven't even listened to the audio when I gave it for free.
I'm going to listen to it. Um, I think you should write a book that really speaks on this heart to heart level, where you analyze just certain aspects of life that are very common for everyone,
Mm,
children, and what it puts you through, and just seeing that everybody has to go through it in one way or another,
mm,
and maybe you could find other certain real key things that every human being goes through, and kind of frame it out like this is the way the world works. It's putting us all through these to help us learn these certain lessons. I think you're a great person to write that book. You got deep realizations on it, and it would be really, really useful book for people. What do you think?
I think it's great. I think it's a great idea.
Okay.
This is
Let's make that
all
happen.
important
Just
stuff that
identify
everybody
three,
has to
four, five
reflect on.
things, yeah, that in life that are common to everyone.
Yeah.
You know,
Everybody's got to reflect on these things. It doesn't matter what religion you are, what church you belong to, what splinter group of ISKCON you belong. It doesn't matter. These are all real things for the soul. We're ultimately not of any church, of any religion, of any spiritual, uh, of any particular ashram or sangha. We are all spirit souls bouncing around this world, trying to get to the bottom of this. Like, what is real? What is temporary? What do I take shelter in when everything falls apart?
all right.
Husker Du. Remember that song?
I remember Husker Du, but I couldn't even name one of their songs.
Everything falls apart.
We
It
got to take a
falls.
look at that one.
Yeah. Anyway,
Was Mara looking up the Landslide lyrics?
she
We
was.
hold on for
Yeah,
another
she's still digging that one up.
thing. Okay.
Who sang that song again?
I don't know if it's called Landslide. That's the only thing.
Who's the band?
Fleetwood Mac.
Fleetwood Mac. Okay.
All right,
right.
I think I got it.
He's got it.
Oh, guys,
Yep.
should we get into? Okay, let's go ahead. Let's get into. See if this makes Raghunath cry.
I took my love, I took it down, climbed a mountain, and I turned around.
Oh, stop.
And I saw my reflection in the snow-covered hills till the landslide brought me down.
Oh man. Okay.
Oh, mirror in the sky, what is love? Can the child within my heart rise above? Can I sail through the changing ocean tides? Can I handle the seasons of my life? Well, I've been afraid of changing because I built my life around you. But
Mm.
time makes you bolder, and children get older, and I'm getting older too.
Oh my God.
See, Raghunath, you
Cats
knew
in the
this one.
cradle.
Well, I've been afraid of changing because I built my life around you. Time makes you bolder, children get older, I'm getting older too. Take my love, take it down, climb a mountain and turn around. And if you see my reflection in the snow-covered hills, the landslide will bring it down.
All right, Raghunath.
Enjoying summer, Kaustubha?
Why are you asking that? Why?
Are you enjoying summer?
I am enjoying summer.
Think
It's gonna
about this
end.
summer.
Yeah.
How many summers do you have left?
Oh, whoa, that's deep.
Think
Raghunath.
about that.
I don't even know.
Literally, this is summer, right?
Yeah, I
How
mean,
many
if I lived
summers
out
do
a
you have
normal
left?
life, if I lived
Huh?
out a normal life, like 15, 20, 25.
Right?
Yeah.
And how about remember 15 summers back? That wasn't that long ago, 15 summers back. You're
Not
almost
long
60,
at all ago.
right? 45. When you were 45, we were buddies doing our thing at 45,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
15 from now could be your last summer, if we're lucky. How many more summers do we have?
All things must pass, Raghu.
Oh, my God.
Okay. Maybe we'll do the Fleetwood Mac one for a nugget someday down the
right.
road.
All right, man. Let's get into this.
Let's get into it.
Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayam mudirayat. Before we start in the Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, which is our very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisances to the Supreme Lord Narayan and to Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, to Srila Vyasadeva, the author, and Narayan Rishi,
Supermost human being.
supermost human being. Nasta Preshva Badreshu Nityam Bhagavat Sevaya Bhagavati Utamashloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki. By regular attendance in class in the Bhagavatam and by rendering service to the pure devotees, all that is troublesome to the heart will become eradicated. And loving service to the Supreme Lord, who is praised with transcendental songs, will be established as an irrevocable fact. Om Magyana Tamarandasya Gyananjana Salakaya Chakshuran Madatam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. I was born in the darkness of ignorance. My teachers are opening my eyes with the torchlight of knowledge. I offer my obeisances at their lotus feet. Reading from Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 5, Text 20.
Okay. Quick context. We just saw the celebration that was going on with the birth of Krishna in Vrindavan, in the spiritual realm, where the most beautiful feelings were being experienced. Nanda Maharaj is just floating in an ocean of bliss. And now he has to go to Mathura, the city, right? He's kind of the head of the cowherd community. He's going to go pay the taxes. And so he's got to make a trip into Mathura. And while he's there, he's saying, let me drop in on my friend Vasudeva, right? Who's actually the real father of Krishna, in one sense, right? And who had switched Krishna and placed him in the home of Nanda Maharaj. Nanda Maharaj is now raising the sweet little beautiful Krishna as his own boy. He doesn't know that Vasudeva did that. And he's going to go and he's going to visit Vasudeva.
So Nanda Maharaj does not know Krishna is not his real son.
He doesn't know.
Oh. When Vasudeva heard that Nanda Maharaj, his very
what
dear
text are we
friend,
on now? Which text?
Text 20. When Vasudeva heard that Nanda Maharaj, his very dear friend and brother, had come to Mathura and already paid taxes to Kamsa, he went to Nanda Maharaj's residence.
Okay, so Vasudeva sought him out. So he was out of prison.
Yeah, he was out of prison. And then he's going to get sent back to prison.
Sent back, yeah.
When Nanda Maharaj heard that Vasudeva had come, he was overwhelmed with love and affection, being as pleased as if his body had regained its life. Seeing Vasudeva suddenly present, he got up and embraced him with both arms. Isn't this amazing? The meeting of Nanda Maharaj and Vasudeva?
It's a beautiful meeting.
It's incredible.
And if we think about Vasudeva, every time we're hearing about him, we're just hearing, here it says, prema vivalaha, overwhelmed with love and affection, embraced sajvasjay, embraced with overwhelming love and affection. He's pritaha, he's so pleased. He's like a walking embodiment of spiritual joy, Nanda.
O Maharaj Parikshit, having thus received and welcomed Nanda Maharaj with honor, Vasudeva sat down very peacefully and inquired about his own two sons because of intense love for them.
So both Balaram and Krishna were his sons, and both are being raised by Nanda. And
Well,
Vasudeva
no.
is,
Oh, because
yes,
Nanda is married to Rohini.
yes, he's got two wives, Rohini and Yashoda.
Okay,
Of course,
interesting.
Balaram and Krishna are brothers,
Now,
right?
but is he gonna let him? Is he gonna let him know that these are my
No,
kids?
no, he's asking questions in such a way where he can find out about, and he's also checking to see if Nanda knows that Krishna is not his own son. He's going to ask questions to see.
My dear brother Nanda Maharaj, at an advanced age, you had no son
You
and
had
were
no son at
hopeless
all.
of having one. Therefore, that you now have a son is a sign of great fortune.
See, by asking that question, it was opening up the door for Nanda to say, no, 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 I know what's going on. Right?
Hmm.
You know, he
It is
said,
also by good fortune that I am seeing you. Having obtained this opportunity, I feel as if I have taken birth again. Even though one is present in this world, to meet with intimate friends and dear relatives in this material world is extremely difficult.
"Mm,
Probably was
yeah,
back then. You want to go to Mathura, you got to get on a cart. You got to walk to Mathura. If I want to see Amy Steller, I got to get to New Jersey. Before there was automobiles. If I want to see Sarah Ditto in Texas, forget it. That's like a lifetime trip for me to get from New York to Texas. If I
yeah.
want
I
to
mean,
see
it's even
Lori
difficult to go from
Pag,
one village to the next.
yeah,
Or,
that could
your
take a
daughter would marry
year.
someone and move off to another village.
Yeah. So to
Now they
see
move
someone,
really far away.
yeah.
It's even harder in some ways.
Many planks and sticks, unable to stay together, are carried away by the force of river waves, right? Sometimes you see when the flood comes, floods happen every year, even smaller floods, the rain washes things down the river, right? And they come together in clusters, right? And then the rains come again and breaks them apart. Similarly, although we are intimately related with friends and family members, we are unable to stay together because of our varied past deeds, right?
And the
And the
wave
waves of time.
time.
So here we are in clusters. Me and Mara clustered. We've been together hanging out with each other for a while. You and me clustered.
Cluster.
We cluster together. We got people in our life. Lori Pag and me. We've known each other for 12 years ish.
Cluster.
Clustered, right? The chief. We've been clustered together. And then sometimes we seem like inseparable. And then a wave comes and you break apart. And, whatever, Kaustubha dies. And I'm sad.
Thanks, sir.
Sorry, I killed you off first. Kaustubha dies. But you know what? I'll be looking for you in our next life. If you don't go back to Godhead, I'll be looking for you.
Okay.
Because souls travel in clusters like that.
Yes, yes. Now, Raghunath, here. So now, here we're hearing, is it still? Yeah. It's Vasudev speaking, and he's sharing this insight. This speaks to the George Harrison song.
Hmm.
All things must pass. It's hard to still to get to. We used to be intimately united, and now we're kind of separated. And he brings another element into it. He says we're separated because of our various past deeds and the waves of time. He's brought in two elements, karma
Right?
and
Karma
time.
and time.
Yeah. That these are, again, if we're in a virtual reality, if the world that we're moving through is a virtual reality, karma and time are two programs that have been downloaded and programmed into the virtual reality, specifically to give us the kind of experience that we were talking about before, right? A little bit of melancholy sometimes, right? A little bit of, oh, it's all slipping away. Time does that for us. And karma makes it so that this virtual reality that we're moving through, that it's not like we move through it without consequence. It's not like we have this complete freedom to act without consequence. No, everything that we do brings a consequence. And according to our past deeds, we come together and then we split apart.
It's interesting, huh?
Yeah, it's so interesting. And so the yogi is saying that whatever is happening, I had something to do. I was given an experience in this world to enjoy for some time, and then it was taken away from me based on how I've been behaving in this world. It's responding and it's trying to teach me something, and it's giving me these feelings that I don't need to try to ignore or cover up. Put on Netflix and forget about it. Go ahead and marinate in that feeling a little bit and go deeper into the wisdom that's been shared with you so that you can develop a true detachment from the things of this world and a deep attachment to that which is eternal. Raghunath's deep in that song right now. He's going back to Fleetwood Mac. It's a heartbreaker.
I mean, you see this in relationships, right? It's like, especially when you look back on the past. I can look back at my ex-wife, or we can look back at if we have an ex that karmically, you were meant to be with this person. Yeah. It was like meant to be. You're going to get like an envelope, and here's a mission, and your mission, there's some type of like testing and education we're going to get from this. It's like you're taking a course, know, maybe it's a course of love and detachment. Maybe it's a course of like there's something in there that you're going to grow and graduate from and receive your next belt in the martial arts. And every relationship we have, it's like we're taking a course, and we've got to, are you going to pass it? Or are you going to fail it? If you're going to fail it, you're going to have to get that course again somehow else. Maybe it's a course in detachment. Maybe it's a course in attachment, care, consider, love. Can I love without trying to be clingy? Can I love on a very high platform? Everything that we're doing, all these people that we're clustered with karmically are meant to make us grow somehow, whether it's a loving relationship or a miserable relationship or a problematic relationship, a relationship where one of you has a chronic disease. All of it's there for our growth. None of it's just a random envelope I've been dealt. None of our past people that we've been cemented to for a year or a weekend or 10 years or 30 years, none of it is random. It's a karmic connection in the biggest picture given to us by God for our growth. What a great way to frame out life.
Fantastic way to frame out life, Raghunath. And I like what you also say. It's like a lesson, but it's also a mission, like you said, right? There's also a mission.
This is your mission.
Yeah, and that mission always has to do with not just serving, certainly like, for instance, like the mission of a parent is to provide materially for the child. But that's, in one sense, that's there for the deeper mission, which is that provides the foundation by which you can provide the spiritual help, right? So therefore, Rishabdev, this important king that we spoke about earlier in Bhagavatam, he speaks that verse that one, if you cannot deliver your dependents from the path of repeated birth and death, you should never become a guru, a father, a husband, a mother. These positions, these roles that we play in life, they come with a study that we're meant to do, something that we're meant to learn as a father, as a husband, as a mother. And there's also a mission that we're meant to do, which is like this. To help those that are our dependents also evolve.
Mission, or even like our whole path is like a mystery. And every time we get put into one of these karmic situations with people, places, or things, it is like getting a clue. So you can like notice the clue, like really dive deep into that riddle, into that clue, or you can just ignore it and just try to have a good time material.
It's meaningless.
Life.
It's random. It's just
it's just random. I mean, I know Kaustubha for a long time. No. There's a reason why I know Kaustubha. There's a reason why I know you.
Right.
There's a reason why I know her.
Who's that? Mara?
Mara.
Okay.
There's just some other woman.
Did Mara go somewhere?
Some other woman hanging in my house. Yeah, isn't that interesting? What a great way to look at life, too.
I think it's the way that wise people look at life.
Yeah. Continuing on, my friend.
Let us do so.
My dear friend Nanda Maharaj, in the place where you are living with your friends, is the forest favorable for the animals, the cows?
No, he's
I hope there is no disease or inconvenience. The place must be full of water, grass, and other plants. Have you ever seen cows graze in the forest?
In the forest?
Yeah, sometimes, if you have a farm that borderlines a forest, the farmers let them graze in the forest.
There's good herbs in there, maybe good herbs.
Whatever it is, there might be poisonous ones too, but it graze in the forest, and it cleans. It makes the forest look really cool because there's like sometimes generally there's like saplings growing in the forest, and they just take it down. It just clears the forest.
Right.
Sort of goats do that too, and just cut it down.
Right.
Okay. My son Baladev, being raised by your wife, Yashoda Devi, my son Baladev
being
Oh, he's
raised.
wait a second. So he's this is who's speaking here?
Baladev
Who's
is
speaking?
it's still Vasudev, right?
All right, so Vasu's saying my son. He's saying Balaram's
So
my
he's
son.
giving away Baladev, but he's not giving away Krishna.
My son Baladev being raised by you and your wife. How
Yashoda
can
Devi.
he? Okay, let me just read this. My
Yeah.
son Baladev being raised by you and your wife Yashoda Devi considers you his father and mother. Is he living very peacefully in your home with his real mother Rohini?
Okay.
Wait a second. Isn't Nanda Maharaj going to say, what? Your son? Somehow I've missed this in my 30 plus years of Krishna consciousness.
Yeah. Well, okay. Let's not worry about it right now.
Okay, but this is, he's like revealing, doing like, this is
He
my
revealing
son.
that. Yes, Baladev, not Krishna.
Yeah. Actually, in one sense, how does he even know it's his son? Because it was like it was a quote miscarriage that mystically got transferred to the womb of Rohini.
No, from the room of Devaki
A
to
room
the
of
room of
Devaki to
Rohini, and then Rohini goes to live under the protection of Nanda, and so now Baladev is kind of like the stepson of Nanda Maharaj, right? Like he's being raised as his son. That's
Well, no, you just said Nanda Maharaj was the wife of Rohini.
no, Rohini is the wife of Vasudev, but she's
Oh,
going and
Rohini's the wife of
living
Vasudev.
under the protection and the care of Nanda,
Okay.
right?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's it.
When one's friends and relatives are properly situated, one's
Religion. You still playing with this equation?
I'm playing with this equation. Okay.
Okay, let me
So
say it all out.
understanding
Listen,
that
hear me out.
it's not a reveal because it is his son.
That one wasn't a
because it's
reveal.
Rohini's.
Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
And he was checking to see if the Krishna secret had been revealed. It hasn't been revealed.
When one's friends and relatives are properly situated, one's religion, economic development, and sense gratification, right? Dharma, artha, kama, as described in Vedic literatures, are beneficial.
Okay.
Otherwise, if one's friends and relatives are in distress, these three cannot offer any happiness.
Right. You have your duty to pay. Karmically, you have to be responsible in order to be happy.
Nanda Maharaj said, alas, King Kamsa killed so many of your children born of Devaki. And your one daughter, the youngest child of all, entered the heavenly planets. What? Wait a second. So this is more info for me here.
News was spreading about this.
The youngest child, the daughter, Subhadra.
Yeah.
She entered the heavenly planets?
Well, what they saw was that
like you don't hear much of what happened to her after she turned into Durga.
We don't.
You don't until later
Arjuna
when Arjuna falls in love with her.
Yeah, right. That's true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm with you.
Who raised her?
Well, we really should know these things.
We should know these things. We read these books. We call it our religion.
I assume she was raised by her grandparents, right? Ugrasena or something. Anyway.
I think Subhadra is a second daughter. Well, yeah, because there was, I don't know.
I think they're connected. In any case, let's not get too far off. Let's stick with this because we're getting into deep verse here and we only have 5 minutes left.
Every man is certainly controlled by destiny, which determines the results of one's fruitive activities. In other words, one has a son or daughter because of unseen destiny. And when the son or daughter is no longer present, this also is due to unseen destiny. Destiny is the ultimate controller of everyone. When we say destiny, we mean karma, right?
Yeah.
One who knows this is never bewildered, right? Once you get this is karmic reactions going on, you'll never go, why? Why? Unfair.
Right. This is one friend, in a sense, consoling another. Because look at, in one sense, Nanda is coming from Vrindavan where everything's great. He just had a baby son. Everybody's throwing butter and milk all over the place. They're like living in such prosperity. He's so happy, right? And he's going and Vasudev's visiting him and he's saying, look at you. You've been through so much. You've been in prison. All your children have been killed. And so he's sharing a little wisdom like George Harrison was doing in that song, in a sense, right? Vasudev, I know you've been through a lot. Try to hang on to this idea that whatever's happening is destiny. It's there for a reason. You're meant to learn from it. You're meant to grow from it. You know, it's not some random misfortune. It's part of life that we all go through in one way or another. And if you know this, you won't be bewildered. You won't be lamenting. You won't be suffering in the same way that someone who doesn't know it suffers. You'll be processing it and feeling it, processing it, growing through it, like that.
Vasudev, we have them. Want to finish?
Yeah, let's finish.
Vasudev said to Nanda Maharaj, "Now, my dear brother, since you have paid the annual taxes to Kamsa," it's amazing, they're still paying taxes back then. "Since you have paid the annual taxes to Kamsa, and you have asked for an extension from the IRS, and have also seen me, do not stay in this place for many days. It is better to return to Gokul, since I know that there may be some disturbances there."
Okay.
Sukadev Goswami said, after Vasudev advised Nanda Maharaj in this way, Nanda Maharaj and his associates, the cowherd men, took permission from Vasudev, yoked their bulls to the bullock carts, and started riding for Gokul. So he didn't reveal that Krishna was his son.
No, he's not going to reveal that. Now,
I don't even remember this chapter in this part of Krishna book. Do you? The meeting of Vasudeva?
Yeah, not so much. Not so much.
Not so much, right?
Ready for some takeaways?
How are you, my dear?
Good.
Are you good? What's up with your life, Mara?
What's been
Everything good
happening
with
to you
you?
since we've been talking?
Since the beginning of
I mean, in general, are you okay? Are you good?
Yeah,
Since
I'm
the nugget, how have things been?
Thanks.
What a good show. All right. Even the greatest things and worst tragedies will pass.
You're going to pass, Raghu.
That's enough to make me cry again.
What if our loneliness is a door opening?
How about that picture of my mom on her wedding day? Oh, yeah, God. How do you not cry?
Turn within and realize God is sitting in the heart waiting for us.
Okay, turn within.
You know what we need today, Mara? A japa walk in a cemetery.
Okay. The highest welfare is giving spiritual reconnection.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Discomfort is coming either way.
Yeah, it's coming out of the way, so
Discomfort
prepare-
coming anyway.
Start to contemplate it and feel it now so that when it hits, you're prepared.
And this is why yogis do austerity.
Yeah.
What do I take shelter in when everything falls apart?
Good question.
Hmm.
Question me this, Kaustubha.
Riddle me this.
Riddle me this.
How many more summers do we have left?
Does Kaustubha have left? That was the question. Don't confuse it. It's
Not us,
Kaustubha's question, not
Kaustubha.
mine.
I see. Our relationships are here for our growth.
What do you think about that one, people? I want to hear a message board what you think about that one. How many summers do we have left? What did that ring true with anybody? Did that hit anybody heavy?
Henry.
Henry, God, Henry, how many summers does Henry have left? Henry's accounting, I don't know. Hare Krishna. Henry, you got to come to India with us this year. It's just like, how many? Come on.
How many India trips are going to
How
pass?
many India trips do we have left? He's like,
All our relationships are here for our growth.
That's right.
that I like that thing where we were going with that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And-
the mission and the lesson, both
The
of them.
mission, the lesson, the riddle, the mystery, the clues, the clues in life.
All right.
You are a clue sent to me, Mara, to figure out the
Still haven't
mystery
figured
of
it
the
out.
universe.
And welcome loneliness and lean in.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
I've come to talk to you again.
We got to go for that one. Maybe tomorrow.
Hello, darkness,
Sound of
my
silence.
friend. Thanks everybody for joining us.